It's the 2K Sports pregame show, brought to you by Kia.
Welcome, everybody. This is 2K Sports with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. In this game, we'll see the Utah Jazz against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Checking out Oklahoma City, facing an excellent team on hostile ground. They'll need to play a complete game, start to finish. We'll see if they can pull off the upset. And Shaq, we're coming up to the halfway point of the season. Some teams finally getting into a groove after a somewhat shaky start.
Yeah, every year is different. Sometimes it takes a little longer to figure out. But what's most important is you get hot at the right time.
Oh, that's right. I agree with that. And you have to have a lot of experience on your team. And those guys know how to pace themselves. And you can just kind of relax. Quality veterans won't allow the season to be a sprint. It's a marathon.
Tip-off coming up shortly. It's time to send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
The beautiful, dramatic setting here in Salt Lake City, Utah becomes apparent when you get a look at the aerial shot of the surroundings. Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. We're glad you can join us. We're at the home of the Jazz here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And, of course, Roy Hibbert. See how they continue to fare without him.
And, Kevin, he was an important player for him, I think more than people give him credit for. And that's not to say the trade was a mistake, but this is a guy they'll miss.
And as we move past the All-Star break, everyone is fighting for playoff position right now. Do you feel the top 8 teams from each conference getting into the playoffs is a fair number? Would you like to see fewer, more? What do you think?
I think 8's a good number. 16 teams being represented in the postseason for the NBA playoffs. It works out quite well.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. So for Oklahoma City right now, Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Paul George is out there with Patrick Patterson. And it's Adams in at the center position. So the Utah Jazz able to put the first points up on the board. Patterson setting the pick for George. He dishes it to Westbrook. Down to 5 on the shot clock. George with no one around. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
And that's just not something Russell came in doing, being a playmaker. But what we're seeing out of Westbrook now, great vision.
Favors with the screen. And Rubio kicks to Gobert. Favors against Patterson. Ingles in the corner. Doesn't go for him. George with the defensive effort. Outside Westbrook. Off target from outside.
Very lazy defense there, but luckily they got bailed out by the missed shot. He won't miss many of those opportunities.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George.
You can tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
Well, he had a jump on it, had a chance to make the play, just could not steal the deal.
Now here's Favors. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Sacramento.
And he also positioned himself perfectly to grab all those rebounds, guys. Can't forget about the fundamentals. The defense arrived just in the nick of time to throw him off there. So fortunate he missed that one, guys.
Back to Robertson. Pass to Adams. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And watching Adams go to work out there, he is a bit of an old school big man in the sense that Brent he'll throw his weight around and look to intimidate the other team.
Yeah, Adams willing to take on that role, take the punches and take the hits for the rest of his team. And it goes along with his great defensive instincts, I think. His activity down low, certainly a big help for this team's defense.
And he sinks the second.
You always talk about glue guys and guys that do the little things to help their team. Steven Adams is certainly that for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not a big presence in the box to score, but when you watch him play with his team, he's willing to sacrifice his body, set hard screens, and be a presence on the interior.
Favors, and a slam dunk by Favors.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Now here's Westbrook. He had 22 points in the win against the Trailblazers in Portland.
He also did a masterful job in that game of drawing a lot of fouls, so he's creating havoc for the defense.
And again, Derek Favors. Favors has got his second bucket of the game to go.
And I tell you what, anytime you get those easy ones, that basket starts to get bigger.
And a strong move to the bucket, like he puts the defense on its heels, backing them up. Just what you want early on in the game.
Good work there as it goes. And thinking again on Adams, the scoring isn't what makes him valuable, Brent. It's his defense and his solid screen setting.
Well, I think it's his idea that the role that he has is something that he's very comfortable with, and he wants to be successful at doing it. He doesn't hurt the team by getting out of his comfort zone.
Here's Ingles following the score by Oklahoma City. Westbrook with the steal. And now it's Westbrook running. He can go all the way. Oh, and the jam by Westbrook.
Well, it's funny when Russell slows down, he gets a little more crafty with his moves and his pacing, leaving the defense right there helpless.
Rubio with it. Westbrook picks him up. Rubio dishes to Hood. And Rodney Hood, talk about making a jump from year 1 to year 2. Greg, he improved in almost every facet of the game.
And Hood came into the league with a reputation as a dead-eye shooter, and that's been the case from both long and mid-range off the bounce. What has surprised some people, though, is his advanced ball handling and his ability to find open teammates. A relatively quick study there. Still a ton of upside to Hood's game.
Surveying the Thunder roster here, and a lot of the players on it were their own draft picks. They've done a great job of identifying some talent late in rounds in the draft. Found a good amount of rotation players even when they were going deep into the playoffs.
And he's good on the second. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Westbrook passes to Patterson. Dishes it to Robertson. Inside. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Favors. Here's Rubio. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Sacramento. And that one's good by Favors. And for the Thunder and their draft success, Brent, it's so important as they aren't usually big players in free agency.
Well, that's a tip of the cap you have to give to their general manager to continue to seek out players that are going to complement the team. Just invaluable. I think the defense was surprised that he did not knock that down. Clear defensive breakdown there, guys. Should have made him pay.
Back to Rubio. Lobs it up for Favors. Just 5 on the clock. 3 on 3 from the baseline. And he connects with the jumper.
So fast and so aggressive. Hard to stop Westbrook when he's tearing down the court like he did there.
Gobert the screen. And Rubio kicks to Favors. Here's Ingles. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Rubio. And again, it's Utah.
The lead changes hands once more. There has been no separation between these two teams.
Now, tonight they are here to compete. This is what the fans paid their money to see.
Now here's Patterson. Really played well against Portland in his last outing.
A really good rebound in traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
Here's Ingles. And it's off from 3-point range. Patterson dishes to Robertson.
Come get it, come get it.
And Adams kicks to Westbrook. There's the pass to Robertson. Outside Westbrook. Takes the 3. Another miss by Westbrook.
Yeah, it's one of those quarters where you're just incredibly frustrated that you did not impact it the way you wanted to. So nothing going right now.
Now here's Rubio. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. And now a fast break for the Thunder. And George kicks to Patterson. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Utah leading. And he goes in for the dunk.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. Fresh from a win against Portland.
And really an emphatic win for them, especially considering that it came in an opponent's building. And there's no question it was their offense that carried them.
Absolutely agree. They cruised to the win on the strength of a total team effort on the offensive end. Didn't matter what unit they had on the floor. All 5 guys in sync.
You hear some of the retired legends saying that nowadays the NBA is going soft. What do you think? Do you wish the game were a little grittier?
I really don't. I think the game is what it is because of the freedom of movement, because of the rule changes. What we see in front of us is how players are trying to manage the space, the pace, and how you play.
And so here is Oklahoma City. 4-point game. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Utah.
And they rolled over this team last season, beating them every time they faced off.
Yeah, it was a completely one-sided season series, and that was no surprise to anyone. This first game between them should give us an idea if they're on a little more even ground this season.
Here's Ingles following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Now, here's Rubio. Offensive rebound, and Derek Favors with the slam.
This guy is a beast on the board.
And when he gets those second chance points, GA, he does not waste one of them.
Well, you love the NBA, but some of these guys have the DNA. He also outworks everybody. Filthy combination.
Goes up on the block, and Westbrook gets it to go on the assist by George. 8 points for Russell Westbrook.
Well, not many guards are able to get to that spot as quick as Westbrook does. It's a comfort zone for him.
And Rubio kicks to Gobert. The dish to Hood. There's the 3. Leaps for it, and it's Hood again missing.
Just doing the job on the backdoor.
Gobert with the block, and it's out of bounds to the Thunder as Oklahoma City retains possession. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. With he's checked in for Gobert. Cephalosha comes in for Joe Ingles. Burks, he's checked in for Hood. And it's Dante Exum in for Ricky Rubio. Trying his luck deep. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, it reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
Now, here's Exum. Passes to Favors. Nice ball movement by Utah. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Here's Cole. Collison, the pass to Cole. Fast break. Here come the Jazz. The shot, no good. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. Favors lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that.
And without his sharp shooting, who knows where they'd be right now.
That's tipped. Exum dishes to Wither. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
The Thunder shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. And that one falls for Collison. Boris Diaz checked in for Derek Favors. He's perfect from the line this time.
And though the Jazz are, still developing that roster, they do have an identity. And the one area that's been constant for them is defense. #1 in the league a couple seasons ago. Last year, near the top as well. And so they're not going to be a fun team for you to play against if you have one of those high-octane offenses. Oh, smooth. Guys, very good job getting himself in close enough that he could just tip it back in.
Well said. Those kind of plays in the offensive glass can tell the story sometimes, can't they? Here's Cole. 11 points for him in that last game against the Trailblazers in Portland. Collison, no good. And you know, an interesting thing about the Jazz defense, as proficient, Greg, as they've been, one wonders why the team hasn't done better in the win-loss column over the last few years.
And Kevin, the problem is that as solid as they've been defensively, that's how challenged at times they are offensively in terms of just scoring the basketball. They've been hanging around the bottom of the league in that category for a while.
And you look at the Thunder last season, they were slept on as a contender for the title. Warriors and Spurs, very, very good, but in the same conference. Might have helped the Thunder to stay focused and fly under the radar just a little bit more.
And usually the Thunder are favorites to go deep, and that's exactly what they did last year, all the way to the Western Conference Finals.
Well, you look at what Westbrook represented in Oklahoma City over the past 5 or 6 seasons, and there's no doubt with that kind of talent, you're going to have a chance every year, Kevin, to make a deep push.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. You know, Brent, every player is forced to figure out what they want to do when their career comes to a close. How did you choose to join us here in broadcasting, and how has that transition been for you?
Well, I'm a big video game player, Kevin, so here I am.
Good.
Thanks a lot.
And you're a good one.
I love to play, and now I got boys that do the same thing, so it's one big happy circle.
And plus, it's kind of like brushing up on the league, too, because there's so many stories and the way players play. A lot of things kind of develop in your mind, I'm sure, as you're watching for it.
If I can be serious for a moment, Kevin, my dad was a broadcaster for quite some time, and I always felt like after my playing career I might have an opportunity to do the same. And here I am, very fortunate to continue to talk about the game I love.
Berries are blessed with beautiful voices.
And that's alliteration.
Cephalosha kicks to Withy, feeds to Burks. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And where have the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look, broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for Oklahoma City.
And not a lot of teams can be successful with a focus on the mid-range game, but these guys make that a focal point of their offense. A lot of their scoring opportunities this season from 10 to 20 feet out.
Roof shot.
And he knocks down the first one. That misses, so he splits the free throws. And looking at the Jazz roster, they're a well-balanced group. You see scorers, Greg, playmakers, rebounders, shot blockers, plenty of quality depth.
And they've done a great job of drafting. Many of the main pieces of the puzzle seem to be in place. The next step for me is, will one of these young core players emerge as a superstar?
It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Now we have a chance to see the teams that have been the NBA's best three-point shooters this month. In third, the Jazz.
Over the last month, they've been extremely disciplined on the perimeter, not really rushing to get attempts off, but taking their time to find the best looks.
And that one falls for Cole.
And the Thunder, one of the best shooting teams in the league, and if they don't get you with that first shot, they have guys inside prepared for those misses to hurt you the second time around.
That one is no good. And you look at the Thunder's work on second effort plays. Brent, a lot of big bodies in their front court who don't mind throwing their weight around.
Well, Russell Westbrook himself is a phenomenal rebounding guard, but I think what happens too is that players on OKC set themselves up in great position to clean up any misses.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
That's how you draw it up, each guy doing his part. Beautiful fast break.
Now here's Burks. 9 points last game and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Utah shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
Gentlemen, 2 roof shot.
Free throw good. Burks. And Burks hits 2 free throws.
Yeah, a lot of whistles here early, as well as foul trouble starting to be an issue.
Here's Cole. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Singler passes to McDermott. Kicks it to Cole. The shot and game clock separated by 4. They set the pick. Moves back up. And the shot falls short this time.
You can't fault him for taking the open look, guys. Just didn't go in for him. But, you know, he'll look to shoot that one again.
Burks kicks to Exum. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And, of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
No good on that one. And he ends up missing both free throws. Five seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Cole. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And that does it for the first quarter. Jazz out in front. They lead by 5. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And Russell Westbrook, a guy who has faced some criticism, also a guy who is extremely critical of himself.
It's tough, and I'm still learning every night to be able to come out, to know when to score, to know when to pass, to know when to be aggressive, to know when to slow down. It can be tough at times because I want to do so well, and I want my teammates to do so well, and I want to win so bad.
Well, you have to love the competitive attitude, the desire to be great, not just for himself, but for his teammates, too.
And the emphasis on winning. That's why so many people in the league feel that it's just a matter of time before Westbrook puts those finishing touches on his game.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And guys, from what we've been watching with the Jazz, what are you guys seeing out there?
I just don't know that you're going to see a better quarter defensively than what we saw in the first.
Yeah, I just really love that they're playing with their hearts tonight, contesting shots, making their opponent work for every point.
On the floor for Oklahoma City, getting going here in the second quarter. Nick Collison out there with McDermott. Then there's Russell Westbrook. Then it's Norris Cole, and it's George in at the 3 slot. It's taken away by Collison. Outside, George. The feed to Cole. They set the screen. 5 on the clock. For 3, Westbrook, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation.
And let's review some numbers for Cephalosha. Averaging about 3 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And clearly, he's having a tough stretch here. But it's all about how you respond to the adversity. That'll be key.
Jazz leading by 3.
And Kevin, what offensive game plan? I mean, this is a guy that is the focal point in terms of how they're going to play. That's a tremendous amount of pressure on a player, no matter how talented he is. Ill-advised shot there.
And he knows it. Got locked into scoring mode. Couldn't pull it back.
Cephalosha dishes to Burks. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
When you're playing from behind, you cannot let your opponent have things that are that easy. And that was easy. Not quite sure why he felt the need to rush that one. He had all the time in the world and just threw it up before he was ready to go.
And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
And the Jazz with some changes. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Withy. Joe Ingles comes in for Cephalosha. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Exum. Then for the Thunder, Steven Adams, he's checked in for Collison. Patterson comes in for Doug McDermott. And it's Andre Robertson in for Norris Cole. Robertson can't hit.
Well, he could not have been any more wide open, guys. Wow, I bet he nails that shot next time he gets a clean look.
Dial with it. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Off the pick.
Oh!
Yes, sir.
And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
When you're playing from behind, you cannot let your opponent have things that are that easy. And that was easy.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. Gobert with the block. It's good. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. And Rubio kicks to Dial. Back to Rubio. Here's Ingles. 9-point game his last outing. Dial the pass to Ingles. And he dunks it down.
He's such an intelligent passer. Dial with the instincts and skills of a point guard. So good at finding the open fella.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Roberson. How's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
If anything could change the momentum, it's that kind of play. Cloud of smoke has people standing on their feet.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, it seems at times that Russell Westbrook can put up a triple-double at will. But he said, everybody thinks that I care about numbers and things like that, but I really don't. I don't think about who shoots, how many times they shoot. That really doesn't matter to me. I just like to win. All that matters is if we win. Kevin?
Thanks, D.A., one of the most competitive players in the NBA. Utah leading by 7. Hood dishes to Ingles. He kicks it to Favors. Nice ball movement by Utah. Rubio misses.
Now, nice work there to contest the finish inside.
The only way you're going to challenge him in that situation, you have to attack with more power. He's one of those guys the defense always has to watch out for. Burned him there.
Here's Rubio. Paul George making his last shot. There's the pick. And Favors kicks to Hood. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J. Hood's got 5 points so far. Thunder trailing by 7. Outside Westbrook. And Adams kicks to George. He feeds it to Westbrook. Feed away. And it's Westbrook again missing.
Yeah, so far he has not had his usual effort in this one, and it's really hurting the team.
Ingles passes to Gobert. And slam dunk by Gobert.
Sometimes it's worth it to find the sliver. Excellent pass there.
And the Stifle Tower, the French rejection, whichever name you want to give for Rudy Gobert. It probably speaks to his tremendous rim protection abilities, Greg.
Man, a few years back at the Combine, his wingspan measured at a record 7 feet, 8.5 inches. Clearly one of the league's premier shot blockers. Very difficult to shoot a high percentage against him. And at the offensive end, he's become an excellent rebounder and finisher in traffic.
Well, you look around the NBA, so much turnover in the coaching ranks. I think I read that since the end, Brent, of the 2012-13 season, only about 6 or 7 coaches have remained with the same team. It's a tough, tough job.
It's a very difficult business, Kevin, and I think a lot of the younger ownership groups, and we've had a lot of ownership changeover as well,
you sure have,
are not willing to be as patient with the coaching staffs that they've put in place, and that doesn't allow guys to develop in the same system over and over. I always think about DeMarcus Cousins in the first few years in Sacramento, seeing 5 or 6 different coaches for him and having to learn a new way to play each time a coach comes in and moving him around the system. It's very hard to find consistency, not only with a team, but with an individual player because of so much changeover.
You sometimes see more patience in other sports. That doesn't seem to be the case in the NBA.
And I think one of the reasons why in the NBA, Kevin, is, you know this, 2 or 3 guys can make the difference between a team that's not competitive and then all of a sudden flip the switch to becoming a playoff caliber team. So it has to do with the personnel. In the NBA, players can make all the difference.
Good point.
Yeah, tough with his shot so far off right now. They're going to have to tap someone else to step up until he finds it.
To the right side. And Roberson kicks to George. This one for 3. And Derek Favors pulls it down. Favors has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Rubio in the corner. The baseline J. Knocked loose. Thunder trailing by 7. Westbrook with it. Guarded now by Rubio. Westbrook kicks to Patterson. Pass to George. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. And here is the shot chart as we see how things are going.
And as this chart shows, things just aren't falling for him like they usually do. He isn't ice cold, but nothing is falling his way, and he's become an inefficient source of points for his team.
Timeout is called, first of the game for the Jazz.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchups.
Also a good decision from the coach to settle your guys down, get into something new, and everybody on the same page.
Now let's take a look at the list of players who have been absolutely lighting it up. These are the NBA scoring leaders over the last 10 games. Second is Paul George, and of course Russell Westbrook.
These two guys are really enjoying themselves right now. It's been a scoring spree for both.
Here is Rubio. He dishes it to Favors. Pass to Ingles. Feeds to Rubio. Just 5 on the clock. Tipped away. Tries to save it, and out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession.
And a moment now to check out some of the numbers for Westbrook. First in steals, second in scoring, and he's in the top 20 in assists per game. His talent for creating easy buckets for his teammates, such an asset.
And the Thunder making a change here. Singler's checked in. Now here's Adams. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Trailblazers in Portland.
Yeah, but the rebounding in that game as well was just tremendous. I mean, he dominated the backboard.
Here's Hood. And here's Gobert. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Sacramento.
And he also positioned himself perfectly to grab all those rebounds, guys. Can't forget about the fundamentals.
And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Arenas is checked in for Oklahoma City. Thunder trailing by 7. Oh, and the jam by Westbrook.
I mean, can you imagine, Kevin, your teammates being worried about your physical health with how hard it is you dunk the basketball? Whew. But that's just who he is.
The drive by Rubio. That one wide left.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
For 3, Westbrook. And Derek Favors pulls it down.
Yeah, this is a terrible start for him, and it has to be weighing on him.
Now Rubio. There's the pick. Favors with the ball. Guarded now by Patrick Patterson. Hood hits the bucket.
And that's what you need to do. When you're the bigger man, you have to punish the defender inside.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Singler outside. Down low. That's tipped. Now here's Rubio. Down low. Here's Gobert. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. And now a 9-point Jazz lead.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Westbrook against Rubio. Patterson. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Jazz leading by 9. Rubio dishes to Ingles. The pass to Favors. It's tipped. Stolen by Westbrook. On up the court. And finished off by Westbrook.
And that's some inspiration. Steals, blocks, and a big dunk. Those are ways that you can really change the momentum in a game.
Well, they got to chip away at that deficit, and no doubt that'll help.
Well, the team needed just a bit of momentum shifting back to their side. They're excited. Let's see if they can maintain that excitement long enough to get some damage done.
For the Jazz, Jeff Withey, he's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Cephalosha comes in for Joe Ingles, and it's Exum in for Ricky Rubio. The Thunder also changing it up. Nick Collison's checked in for Steven Adams. Doug McDermott comes in for Patrick Patterson. And Cole subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Jazz leading by 7. Exum with it. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Here's Hood. It's hauled in by Collison. Collison's got his 4th rebound in this one.
Yeah, it's tough. His shot's been off today. Luckily, his team still has the edge in the game so far.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Exactly. They get out quickly, executed to perfection.
McDermott with the steal. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Rodney Hood. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Thunder trailing by 5. Dishes it to McDermott. And Singler kicks to Collison. The rebound by the Jazz. Withey's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Here's Hood. And it's Hood again missing.
And one thing I liked in the first quarter was their aggressiveness to draw the contact, putting the defense on the defensive.
Singler, no good. Jazz leading by 5. Here's Exum. He drains the quick shot. Exum's got his first 2 points of the night. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. The dish to Cole. Jacks up a 3. Hits it from 3-point range.
a lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Yep, he's going to kill you coming off of those down screens. As a defender, you have to fight over the top.
Now, here's Exum. 8 points his last outing. Favors passes to Cephalosha. Back to Favors. Jazz passing it around, and it's in there. Hood's got 6 here in this quarter.
Well, a good first quarter, good second. This could be a big night.
Got a hand on it. We've got 1:13 left here in the second. That shot, no good.
You see Billy Donovan out there on the sidelines, and you can't help but to think of all the success he's had as a coach already. Back-to-back titles in college, essentially built that Florida basketball program into a powerhouse. He's hoping that he can bring some of that success translated to the NBA and get himself in title contending position.
And that one's good by Favors. Favors got 12 points in the game.
You love it when a big man has those soft hands. Rarely any problem converting that close to the rim.
There's the pick. The kick out to Collison. And Norris Cole is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And the Jazz with some changes. Diaw comes in for Derek Favors. And Alec Burks subbed in for Hood. Utah leading by 6. Burks kicks to Diaw. Back to Burks. The Thunder pull it in.
Well, next time he should do a better job, I think, of getting balanced and set up his feet. That just throws your body way out of whack and hurts your percentages.
Oh, such a field shot there, the floater.
Diaw, the screen. 2 on the clock. No good at the rim.
Well, he had the perfect opportunity to finish that one, guys, and just flat out blew it.
And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. Jazz lead by 4. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. With Coach Quinn Snyder, Quinn, what has to happen in the second half?
Well, we got to keep getting stops and really just make plays. Make plays on the offensive end and be solid defensively. No magic.
Pretty simple game, right, Coach? Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime show on 2K Sports. Derek Favors had no problems getting going. He had 12 points, 2 steals, and 9 rebounds. And, Kenny, what'd you see out there from the Jazz?
Well, I think to shoot a high percentage, your offense has to be in sync. And in the first half, those guys were sharing the basketball, playing for each other. Now it becomes a matter of being consistent at it.
And, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Thunder.
Well, a lot of their points came in transition. They dictated the pace of the game. It was a fast pace. Put the defense back on its heels. I say keep attacking the second half. Do not slow down.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
Welcome back, everyone, to Salt Lake City, Utah. That's the state capital right here in Utah. Really a sight to see when you get that kind of perspective from above. Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. It's been a clinic out there by Derek Favors.
Just a dominating performance in the post by him so far. Just tearing them to shreds when he gets it inside.
Yeah, is there a shot down there that he didn't show them? I'm not sure. Let's see if the D can make some adjustments here as we start the third quarter.
Favors and Gobert, the defensive big men pair. Ricky Rubio is out there with Rodney Hood. And it's Ingles in at the 3. That's the group starting the second half for Quinn Snyder. Adams, nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket. Adams has got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Thunder. And Rubio kicks to Favors. Passes it to Ingles. Favors with the screen. Rubio dishes to Hood. That's in. Coming off an assist from Rubio. Rubio's got 3 assists tonight. Here's Westbrook outside for George. And a miss there on the triple. Utah leading by 5. And there's the feed to Gobert. Here's Ingles. Gobert the screen. Shot clock at 6. Hood. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Looking at some numbers for Ricky Rubio, how last month turned out for him, he's averaging 7 points a game, 9 assists, and 2 rebounds. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
First one falls for him. Both free throws good from Hood. Here's Roberson. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game, and it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, the Utah Jazz is one of the up-and-coming teams in the West, and it was a system-wide commitment to young players. The younger teams tend to struggle, but head coach Quinn Snyder said he's committed to letting his players learn through their mistakes. He said it may be painful at times, but that's how we get better. In a lot of things, the only way to learn is through experience. Guys.
They're catching on quickly, thanks, D.A. Gobert, the screen. Outside Favors. Kicks it to Rubio. And Roberson pulls it down.
Yeah, unfortunate there, guys. Just a poorly set screen, and he didn't want to sacrifice his body to spring open his teammate.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Well, watch Roberson play, and you'll see why it is that he's respected amongst his teammates. Great length with his arms, can guard the 1 through 4 position, and blends size and speed. The only thing that you'd like to see is him improve his consistency from the three-point line.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. Thinking a bit more about Roberson and his defense, he can do it all from jumping a passing lane to sending a shot into the 3rd row.
Yeah, so really for him, it's all about timing. Very smart in the way he lines up to block shots, and a good sense of knowing when to jump in and help off the ball.
That's good from George.
Last season, Paul George getting back to the All-Star game. I mean, well documented, going through that awful compound fracture in his leg, and said that that All-Star appearance was the most meaningful one of his career, and one of my favorite players and people in our game. It's just really great to see him back and playing at such a high level.
Now here's Rubio to the paint, and Hood with the basket on the assist from Rubio. Rubio's got his 5th assist in this one. Here's Westbrook. It's good. Westbrook's got 4 this quarter. And the Pacers asking George to play more power forward last season. He was a little apprehensive, I think, Greg, initially, especially coming off that injury.
Yeah, and he ended up mostly guarding on the wing. They let C.J. Miles do the dirty work on the block, but the extra space afforded by their spread out attack allowed him to flourish at the offensive end.
Yeah, 80%. Is that a good number from the field? I think so. 4 of 5 here shooting. Terrific start.
And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. He feeds it to Adams. Oklahoma City moving it around. And it's George missing. Jazz leading by 5. And it's Rubio penetrating. He kicks to Ingles. Expanding his range. The shot misses. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. And so the ball's out of bounds. Favors touched it last. And now a chance to take a look at the shot chart.
Well, you have to think that he is going to look to go to the rim a little more often going forward because the three ball just hasn't been there. Sometimes it seems he's not getting his feet set or rushing his shooting motion, but either way, it just ain't falling.
Thunder trailing by 5. Here's Roberson. Westbrook a screen on Rubio. Hood against Westbrook. And Roberson kicks to Adams. From deep, George drops in the tray. George has got 11 points. Jazz have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Favors with the screen. He's feeling it. And the rebound goes to the Thunder. Patterson's got 4 rebounds in this game. No one near Westbrook as he lets it go. And Oklahoma City again with the bucket. Utah has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Pass to Favors. He dishes it to Ingles. Rubio outside. Gobert the screen. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
And that one falls for Rubio. Both free throws good from Rubio.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Pass to Westbrook. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Every year they'll always put out an NBA survey of who is the toughest to guard. No surprise that Russell Westbrook is almost always at the top of the list in those surveys. He just, Greg, strikes fear in opposing defenders.
And Kevin, it's a result of several factors in terms of why he tops that list. He has the game and the body to punish you for all 4 quarters, and he never lets up in his intensity. And also a knack for putting players who are caught sleeping on posters. It is both physically and mentally draining guarding a guy like Westbrook.
Good on both.
And the former college defensive player of the year in his conference. Few knew that Westbrook would reach such elite scoring at the pro level.
Now here's Rubio. 6 points for him. Oh, the lob to Gobert. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
And you could see him give a little nod and then just burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
A pair of teammates, Greg, with a terrific feel for each other. Here's Roberson. Feeds it to Westbrook. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And looking now at some numbers for Steven Adams. Over the last month, he has been spectacular. 7th in rebounding, 10th in blocks. And not many players convert opportunities inside as well as he. Top 15 in field goal percentage.
Shooting 2.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. And the Jazz with some changes. Boris Diaz checked in for Favors. And Alec Burks subbed in for Hood. Both good from the line that time.
And not a single free throw attempt in that first half, but he has been far more active since the break and drawn some fouls.
Now here's Rubio. And here is Diaz. Rubio misses.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. With the break in the action, let's go to the 2K leaderboard. These teams have been dialed in defensively this month. The Jazz second.
What a month they've had defensively. I mean, they've really gotten after it on that end of the floor.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one.
Well, Adams has his struggles at the free throw line, but he's making strides in that area and still has work to do.
Exum, he's checked in for Ricky Rubio. And a switch here also for Oklahoma City. McDermott's checked in. And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
They come away with the lead, but I'm sure he's kicking himself over that last miss.
Now here's Exum. Tight defense on him. McDermott with a steal. And the Thunder pushing it up now. 3-pointer. Utah with the rebound. Gobert's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. And Andre Robertson is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Jeff Withy, he's checked in for Utah. Cephalosha comes in for Joe Ingles. The Thunder also changing it up. Collison comes in for Steven Adams. And Cole subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Now, here's Burks. 9 points in the game so far. Diaw, the screen. Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. Third quarter, guys, and this has been a neck-and-neck game.
Both teams getting it done defensively, as evidenced by the 8 lead changes thus far.
The Thunder have gone a solid 6 of 11 when shooting here in the third quarter. Outside, George, and stolen by Cephalosha. And the Jazz pushing it up now. Diaw's running. The second chance effort. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
For the Thunder, Kyle Singler, he's checked in for Paul George. And Abrinas subbed in for Roberson.
And for Thabo Cephalosha, a lot more news off the court in 2014 than on it. I'm just glad that he has moved on from those incidents, finds himself in a good place, and is back playing his brand of basketball.
Now the pass to Collison. Singler outside, shoots it up. Good, and the assist goes to Collison. Here's Cephalosha. And for Cephalosha, he actually grew up in Switzerland after his family had moved from South Africa.
Great to see Cephalosha really stand up for himself in the wake of an incident that happened off the floor and keep himself focused on his job. Had an incredible season last year with all of those things going on in 2015-16.
They get the rebound. Withy. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Take a look at the Jazz. They're in second, looking to take over the first spot. And of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder, 3 games behind.
And you know, for the Thunder, they haven't attracted any serious attention here in the early season. It's been the kind of average start that most had predicted.
And after talking to some of the coaches and the players, they're not happy that they couldn't start off on a little bit more of a roll. But I think they're in fine shape with the bulk of the season still to come.
And the first one at the line is good. So he gets them both. Thunder trailing by 4. Here's Cole. 6 points for him. There's the pick. On its way from McDermott for 2. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good.
Yeah, not a perfectly set screen there, but got him just enough room to get that shot off.
Diaw, the screen.
Oh, no, he's the last guy you want to put on the line. You can just about book the points every time he steps up there.
That's good from Exum. Exum hits them both. Thunder trailing by 4. Here's Cole. They set the pick. Dishes to McDermott from the arc. It's rebounded by Boris Diaw. Utah leading by 4. Here's Exum. Kept alive. Here's Withy. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead, and in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Yeah, those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
And that is a statement. We're going to keep coming at you hard, even if we've got the lead.
Good on the bucket.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Now Exum. Inside, the 9-foot shot. Withy gets the bucket. Withy's got 12.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
To the paint, here's Collison. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Exum kicks to Withy. There's the dish to Cephalosha. Passes to Burks. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And this is his 4th trip to the free throw line tonight. 2 shots. And he knocks down the first one. And Burks hits 2 free throws. Thunder trailing by 6. Cole the pass to Collison. Here's the screen. And Singler kicks to Cole. 6 on the shot clock, and the wide open shot from Collison. That doesn't go either for Collison.
Oh man, this game would shift drastically if he was on tonight and making those shots that we normally see him hit.
For 3, Diaw. It's not going to go for him. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. 3-pointer.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
The first one falls.
They are making it look easy at the free throw line here in the second half.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. Jazz leading by 4. 1:56 left in the third quarter of the game. Back to Exum. The feed now to Burks. 2 points. That one goes. Burks has got 4 points now in the quarter.
And how's that for a move? The killer crossover. It's a thing of beauty.
Here's Cole. 8 points for him. 1:29 left to play in the third. Nice shot by McDermott.
Well, he's not automatic from downtown, but certainly took advantage of the soft defense there.
Now here's Exum. Diaw, the screen. Burks on the wing. In the corner, Cephalosha with it. Shot clock at 6. And again, it's Utah.
Well, the D was there, but it takes a lot more to bother Cephalosha from that range.
Thunder trailing by 5. 52 seconds left here in the third quarter. They set the pick. Here's Cole. Will not go. This is off the front iron. They have a chance to go 2 for 1 here.
Let's see how they play the clock.
Here's Exum. Another shot. And there's the nice layup by Burks. Burks has got 15 points.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Now here is Single. Here's Cole. The rebound by Withy. Withy's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Cephalosha dishes to Diaw. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. Here's Cole. Off target from three-point range. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Utah out in front, up 7. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. Let's take a listen to a recent huddle from Coach Billy Donovan.
We got a chance to get a great road win right now. We got to battle and fight and get down and dirty right now. Right? Let's go. Energy's got to be better.
Words moments ago from Billy Donovan, feeling they have a good chance to take one here on the road, asking for more hustle.
Yeah, it's enough that you're going up against a team on their turf in front of such a hostile crowd. You have to give maximum effort.
And the final period of play just about to start. For the Utah Jazz, they won their last contest, that game against the Kings. So the Thunder 5 right now. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Patrick Patterson is out there with Paul George. And it's Adams in at the 5, home in the paint. Patterson passes to Adams. 18 that time from Hood. Utah leading by 7. Kicks to Favors. Looking for Gobert. He gets it there. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. A free throw drops for Gobert. And Gobert drops them both. Thunder trailing by 9. Outside Westbrook. Screen by Adams. Westbrook, no good.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
And even though he's been on a roll tonight, that one was a bit forced.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
And so it's Oklahoma City with it after the basket by Utah. And Adams kicks to Westbrook. Lets it fly from 18. 5 to shoot. He feeds it to Robertson. Adams controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Well, you have to put at least one body on Adams, maybe two. With his size and relentlessness, he'll light you up on the offensive glass.
Now, here's Rubio. And Derek Favors with the slam.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. Here's Westbrook. Derek Favors making his last shot. Westbrook dishes to George. And the miss, not the best shot selection there. Jazz leading by 11. Outside Hood. Here's Gobert. And he overshot that one, missing.
And, you know, coaches just love players who they can count on to give that effort defensively.
Yeah, he sat in that mid-range area, which can be a no-man's land defensively, but he quickly moved over to contest.
Now here's Hood, following the shot by Patrick Patterson. And Gobert kicks to Ingles. Right side Hood. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Here's Patterson. The Thunder with another miss. Jazz have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Rubio misses.
Yeah, I know the shot's been off just a smidge tonight, but he's contributed in other ways to help his team have the lead in this game so far.
And with that, the Jazz lead is cut down now to just 9 on the basket from George. Utah shooting it pretty well, close to 50%. And Rubio kicks to Favors. Gobert the screen. Here's Hood. And Robertson pulls it down. Roberson's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Robertson. The 3. And Derek Favors pulls it down. Favors got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. Hood, the pass to Favors. Thunder with the rebound. Roberson's got 4 rebounds in this game. He kicks it to Westbrook. It's tipped, and they get it back.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Hood gets the bucket.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. And at this point of the game, getting a break here, important for the teams to regroup, and for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. Get ready to play strong to finish off the game.
I tell you what, Derek Favors has arrived. I mean, the 3rd overall pick back in the 2010 draft. Never a doubt about the ability and the talent, but I think it took him a while to get comfortable playing at this level. And in the last 2 seasons, it feels like he's just kind of put it all together. It oftentimes takes young guys coming into this league a little bit of time to develop their niche and their identity. But once they do, boy, watch out.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Billy Donovan's huddle with his team. He said, "Do you want this game? Don't tell me about it. Show me and show your teammates. We've got to play better, and we've got to play harder if we're going to come back." Guys?
And talking about the improvements made by Favors, he's really added something to his game, Greg, every single year.
A great point. I mean, he plays the pick and roll beautifully now, whether it's rolling to the basket on offense or using his mobility to deter the pick and roll at the other end. I mean, the versatility to man both front court spots is a huge plus when you're playing matchups. If he can just stay healthy, he has the potential to become a perennial all-star.
Here's Ingles. And slam dunk by Gobert. That gives him a double-double in this one. 10 points and 18 rebounds.
And just scrapes and claws for that offensive rebound and doesn't take any chances there with the putback.
And GA, strong work all around in the rebound and the stuff both. Wow. Down low, here's Hood. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Roberson's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Patterson, that's good.
Nice unselfish dish there, right where his teammate could do something with it.
Jazz leading by 11. And Rubio kicks to Favors. There's the pick. Pass to Hood. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Hood's got 13 points in the second half.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Yep, he's going to kill you coming off of those down screens. As a defender, you have to fight over the top.
Here's Westbrook, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Ricky Rubio picks one up.
Yeah, AM doesn't stand for morning with Westbrook. It stands for attack mode.
A lot of international players coming to the NBA. Brent, the number have reached triple digits. About a quarter of the league now from overseas.
Amazing that NBA scouts and general managers continue to comb the globe to try to find the best available talent, and it still speaks to what it is that those club systems in the European countries are able to do with their younger players.
And I always think of the old coaches would go overseas, hold these camps, and get these kids at a very young age and teach them the principles of basketball.
And a lot of coaches, Kevin, are still looking at the fundamental elements of the game, and it seems like the European players are the ones that they always point to that are ahead of where we are here in the States.
And so Westbrook makes them both. Jazz leading by 11. And Rubio kicks to Favors. He dishes it to Ingles. It's stolen by Adams. And here we go. George head. Oh!
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Hood can't get it to go.
That was a half-hearted pick, and he was just going through the motions on that possession, and now it ends up costing him.
Favors brings the double. Adams dishes to Robertson. And stolen by Hood. Pass to Gobert. To the inside. Here's Favors, and then Favors with the dunk.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
Here's Westbrook following the bucket by the Jazz. Feeds to Adams. Gobert pulls it in. Jazz leading by 11. There's the pass to Ingles. Alec Burks checked in for Utah.
Second team foul. Alec Burks.
On defense, Oklahoma City. Rubio misses. And the foul on Alec Burks. That's his first foul. Thunder trailing by 11. Here's Roberson. Dishes to Westbrook. Gobert with the block. Rubio against Westbrook. And it's Rubio penetrating. Works for 3. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. And the Jazz lead by 14.
A somewhat sporadic three-point shooter, but he's able to knock that one down.
The Thunder with another miss.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Adams against Gobert. To the paint. Here's Rubio. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face.
Beautiful entry feed right where his teammate could do something with it.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Westbrook And it's off the back rim, no good.
Man, he's missing those kind of good looks. His team is in some serious trouble.
Favors with the ball. And here's Burks. 6 on the shot clock. Good, the pass to Favors. Kicks it out to Rubio. Tries again. He lays it in. Burks has got 11 points here in just the second half.
Well, that's one of his best attributes. Is his passes hit guys in stride.
There's the screen. At the top of the key, Westbrook. Shot to end this cold run. Another miss by Westbrook.
Just not sure if he ran out of energy at halftime or what, but so far just not himself in the second half.
Favors with a screen on Westbrook. And Rubio kicks to Gobert. There's the dish to Favors. Takes a shot at the elbow. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. And now a fast break for the Thunder. George has got the ball. The shot by Westbrook. And it's Westbrook again missing. Utah leading by 18. Inside, it's deflected. Favors dishes to Rubio. And that'll be Utah as it goes out of bounds. Jazz retain possession. Here's Hood. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
So good at picking his spots. He always knows exactly what the team needs from him offensively. That's why they hold the lead.
Under trailing by 20. And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Patterson setting the pick for George. Here's Westbrook, and the rejection by Favors. And so the ball's out of bounds. Favors touched it last. Now Patterson. Shot clock at 6. And here's Westbrook from the arc. They grab their own miss. George passes to Adams. They recover it. And gets hacked by the D. He'll go to the line. They get Derek Favors.
Well, love the aggressive play here from Adams. He gets the shot he wants. And now another opportunity to challenge himself at the free throw line.
And with the rise of advanced stats, the big movement in the league, we've seen a bit of a backlash from the traditionalists and the scouts. We saw it in baseball. We're seeing it in the NBA. They say you have to watch the game to understand it. You can't boil it down to just numbers. But I think what you've always said is they can all work hand in hand.
The numbers are interesting, Kevin, and obviously if there's some way that you can combine what it is that you see and backed up by the statistics, it'd be silly to think that you could get more information and that in some way you can't use it to your advantage. Not a perfect trip to the free throw line, but they'll take what they can get at this point.
Gobert the screen, and Rubio kicks to Favors. Burks against George. Back to Favors. Again, Favors missing.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
That's really one of his specialties, altering shots in close.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Utah.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Yeah, I think you're on point, Kevin. They got better looks, and that tends to lead to a better field goal percentage.
And for the year now, they'll be tallying their 16th win.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over. And while it's a team game, you can't win without guys showing up. And that was the case tonight for Derek Favors.
There was nothing he did not have a hand in out there tonight. He put them on his shoulders. He carried the heavy load at both ends of the floor. It's all because of him tonight that they're running away with this game.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Withey's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Diaw comes in for Derek Favors. And Thabo Sefolosha subbed in for Rodney Hood. And so Ricky Rubio nails both of them. And a rule change last season, Brent, in college basketball, allowing players longer to decide whether to go pro and even enable them to declare and then change their minds. I personally like that rule. What do you think?
I enjoyed that rule as well, Kevin. I mean, you're 18 years old, 19 years old, and you decide to do something and you can't take it back. I don't think that's a good lesson to teach the youth of America, and so I'm with the rule. I think one interesting thing that we could also look at is if a player comes out for the NBA draft and gets drafted and then wants to go back to school for another year with the team holding that player's rights.
We've seen that before in the old days.
Absolutely. Larry Bird is probably the guy we all point to,
Yes.
going back and playing his final year at Indiana State and then joining the Boston Celtics. That is something that I think the league is going to think about once again and maybe implement for the collegiate player.
I love the low post attack on that one.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. Passes it to Whippy. There's a good screen. Back to Rubio. There's the lob to the hoop. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Here's Cole. And a great job by the D contesting that shot and forcing the miss. And so it's Utah easily grabbing the win. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Derek. Congrats on the win. I know the season can be a grind, but it looked like you guys were having fun out there.
Oh, it's fun, man. It's always fun to win. I'm just coming out here playing my game. Rebound and defense, that's my game. And coach trusts me, so I couldn't let him down.
Yes, this is an up-and-coming team, and you guys really showed well tonight. Congrats, Derek. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now time to head over to the studio where the award-winning Ernie Johnson is with Shaq and Kenny, all standing by. Guys, take it away.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, friends and neighbors. Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith as we move forward to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Derek Favors. Let's go to Shaq. What can you say about his performance?
Reminds me of myself. His field goal percentage was all the way up in the 60s. Not that I like talking about myself, but it was a very steady night for him. You don't shoot well without working hard, and he never stopped battling to get the best look possible. Smart, efficient basketball he was playing. Thanks for showing me.
There are a lot of fantastic power forwards in today's NBA, and let me tell you, Derek Favors is right there among them. And there are nights like this when he even stands above that crowd. His offensive game is extremely well-rounded. He's solid all around.
That's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. We certainly hope you've enjoyed the show, don't we, guys?
It was great.
Yeah. Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and for Kevin Harlan and the entire 2K Sports crew. All 653,000 of them.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Hard-working.
A lot of people.
Yeah. It's a long line at the buffet, though.
Shout out to the T-Pose, man.
Oh,
I don't know his name, but I know his face.
I'm Ernie Johnson. See you next time.